Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Crafty Hour number 17. Woohoo! We are up to number 17. Good morning, good morning. Welcome. We are going to get started in just a moment. I'm going to wait for a bunch of you to hop on. This is going to be an interesting one. So we'll, what is that? Oops, I thought I heard something. Must have been my neighbor next door. All right, we're going to get started in just a minute. Hop on, say good morning. Let me know you are here. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the die cuts and a little bit about your kit. And then I'm going to dive right into it because I don't even know if I'm going to have enough time to finish. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to my partner in crime. I see Courtney has hopped on. Good morning, good morning. I am hearing voices. Hold on one sec. I got to make sure. There we go. I hear voices. Unfortunately, they don't do my work, but I hear them. All right. Good morning. So let's talk a little bit while everybody's hopping on about the Crafty Hour. This is using LDRS, and Courtney and I kind of put it together so that we could get a little bit more out of it. Maybe we didn't think things through all the way, but you know, we roll with it. So you got this kit, Painted Blooms, which is discontinued. I know, I have voices everywhere. You also got the papers. Now the papers were from a different line. Let me get them. Papers were from a different line, and these also were discontinued because we bought them all. We bought them all, and we just thought that the colors worked really, really nice together. And that's usually what we do. We try and buy something that maybe you can't get everywhere because, of course, we want you to support our store and our crafty hours. But in doing so, we didn't think about needing more paper. So Courtney and I got really creative this time, and I think you're going to like it. I think we came up with some fun ideas of how to stretch your papers. And what we also noticed is, for the most part, your florals were all duplicated. For the most part. Having said that, let's look at this one here. Hold on one moment. I know some of you were like, "Ooh, I have different colors." If you have a look, these are the same flowers, okay? Same shape. One of them has a little bit more purple tones. One of them has a little bit more aqua tones, okay? Totally okay. That's why we were saying don't stress those. It's more the shape that we're looking for. But 85, maybe even 89% were all duplicated. What we didn't count on, because we hadn't opened the kit, is that not all of these big ones are duplicated. So Courtney and I split it, but the reason I'm telling you is it's going to make it a little bit more challenging when I go to make my extra one, because we sold out and they're discontinued. I don't have all of those sayings. So some of the times we're going to pretend, and that's okay. All right. So do we have thumbs up? Are we good to go? Are we ready to start? All of that for that, right? Ooh, you're in the UK. Good morning, Wendy, or good evening. So we've got 4 fun cards. I think the colors on these are spectacular. Love the watercolor look. And we're going to get started. I've got 4 cards, and then Courtney's cards for later this afternoon are fantastic as well. Now, what the cards had, what the kit had, is your cards. Cards were already in there. So we're going to, these are the die cuts I told you to find. I'm just going to set this off to the side because actually I'm going to use this piece of paper. Oh, thank you. All right, is everybody ready? Let's see. It is 1 minute after 10. If we can get a few thumbs ups, let's see if we can get started. And like I said, some of this you are going to have to play around, and that is okay. Cool, Fran. It is time to get your snow tires off. That's a good thing, but that's the bonus. We will be here on replay to watch whenever's convenient. Okay, grab one of your cards. Now, these cards, I went a little bit simpler. We do not have foil mats on here. You'll notice. Now, of course, you can add them, but I kind of like the simplicity this time. Because the die cuts have a lot of white, I decided to mimic that with my card. So I don't have any mats on this one. Now, first thing I want you to do is go through your pattern paper, and I want you to look for this paper. Oops, let's get that in focus. There we go. Okay, so this is our teal floral paper. And what is unique about this is on one side, it has a bigger pattern. On the other side, same pattern, just smaller, right? So, yep, and we're going to go through that, Sandy, so don't you worry about it. Don't worry. All the flowers, like I said, 90% of the flowers are duplicated. So we should be okay. So let's find this paper. And what I want you to do, yours is 6 by 6. I want you to cut it to 3 inches. Take it in half. I have already done mine. I want you to cut your teal paper. Oh, I couldn't figure out what was making noise. My necklace is hitting my trimmer. I tell you, I'm hearing things all over the place today. Just go ahead and take that teal and cut it in half, 3 inches. And of course, you can use whatever pattern you want. I'm going to use the smaller side just because that's the side I want to use. Okay, so 3 by 6, that's the first thing. And we're going to work with half of them. We're going to work with the 3 inch. And yeah, you're going to have tons left over. So please don't stress out about anything. I have so much left over. Okay, so we have a 3 by 6. Now I want you to cut it into 2 by 6. So the way we're going to do that is we're just going to slide this over to the number 2, and we're going to cut. So I have 2 strips. 2 strips. Okay, so our first cut was 3 by 6. We're putting that 1/2 away. And now we have these 2 strips. What we're going to do is we're going to take one of them. Oh, silly me. I'm not done yet. We got to cut them both to 5 1/4. Good morning, Beth. Welcome, welcome. So we're going to take both those patterns, 5 1/4, and we're going to do this one 5 1/4. I'm not going to keep those little scraps. I'm just going to get them away. So we're going to glue one of them to the top, and that should give you a little border on each side, and we're going to have the same border on the top. And then we're going to glue this one to the bottom like so. Okay, that means you're going to have a gap in the middle, and that's okay. Okay, this is how we stretch our papers. We stretch our scraps. Perhaps you have a lot of scraps lying around, and this is a great way to use them. So we're just going to glue those. We're going to leave that hole in the middle. These are such pretty papers. Okay, I'm going to give you a moment. And of course, I'm going to change mine up slightly, but you are not. Because if you change yours up, what is going to happen is you won't have what I need you to have for Courtney. So now I want you to go into your die cuts, and I want you to find the large teal banner and the large circle that says "Just So Sweet." Now I'm going to use these two, but you are not. Okay, because I think Courtney might be using these two. But I'm going to use these two just because I don't have anything left. So that I might even use something else. I don't even know what I have left. I don't know. We'll see. So what I want you to find is your teal banner and your circle that says "Just So Sweet." Find those two. You have a lot of banners in there. Lots of different ones. You've got... And I know Courtney's going to be using some. I'm going to be using some. But I want you to find one that is teal. And what we're going to do, and I'm going to use this as my example, but remember yours is teal. Okay. You're going to put foam tape on the back, and you are going to position it just till we cover that little part of the card. So I don't have mine going like that. I do have mine coming off slightly, which is going to leave a gap over here. And we are doing it approximately 3/4 of an inch up with foam tape. Okay, so make sure you have no foam tape on the back, or guess what? You're going to see it and you don't want to see it. And you're going to have a gap here, and we're coming up about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to use it with this one. You will not. You are going to be using the teal, but I just want to kind of get you so it looks similar. But unfortunately, you only have one of those teal banners, and that's what we didn't count on. Oh, good gracious. It looks like, looks like they're going to dig up our parking lot, which is not good. We have a big sinkhole in the front there, and it looks like they're going to dig it up, so it might get a little noisy. Okay. So that's what yours is going to look like, only you're going to have the proper color being teal, and no foam tape out there, and we've got it covering the hole, except over here we have this unsightly look here. Okay, we're going to take some foam tape. I'm going to put a piece of foam tape like so in that gap. And then you're going to take your circle, which is Just So Sweet. We're going to get that ready. And we're going to take our large die cut. Now, on this one, I used the one with the teal, but of course, this one works just fine as well. There's only a couple flowers that are different, so it doesn't matter. The idea is that it's the same shape. Okay, I hope they're not going to dig up the parking lot.
I'm watching it.
I'm like, can you just give us an hour? Okay. We're going to be attaching this like so right there on our card. So I am going to need some foam tape up here. I'm going to put some foam tape there. I'm just holding it in place right now. And I'm going to put some glue everywhere else. We've been waiting for that pothole to get fixed for months, and now's the time. They're going to dig it up. Okay. So I want you to do it kind of like so. Okay. So I've got it kind of poking over the top. I've got the vines or whatever that may be right there. And then you're going to take your circle, which is called Just So Sweet, and we're going to put some foam tape on the back. I'm going to be using a different one. That is because we don't have two of that teal. I'm going to use Party Time. And we're going to set that off to the side so that it covers the hole. Let me show you on this one. And now it doesn't look like we have a gap in the middle. We have two flowers that are just perfect. Two pieces of paper. Okay, now I had you pull some greenery, and these are identical. You do get two pieces of this. And we're just going to put a little bit of glue behind, and we're going to sneak this one up top like that. And we're going to sneak this one down below like so. And that's just going to kind of extend it a little bit. Okay. Everybody doing okay? Now I'm going to have you go to your die cut pack, and I want you to find this one that says, "You are the greatest." You are the greatest. It is a long strip that says, "You are the greatest." And I don't even know if I have something that will work. Let's see what my leftovers are. We'll see. That one doesn't say anything. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use the one that says, "You are my favorite." But I want you to use the one that says, "You are the greatest." And we're going to put that, I'm going to move mine up because otherwise I'll run out of space. You're going to put foam tape just under the words are the greatest. Because if you have a look at yours, you have the word you. It's flat. Now, if you want, you have a lot of little random flowers. I did not have you pull this one, but you have a lot. If you want to add another random flower there, you can. I did add one more. And just have a look at your pile of goodies. You have a bunch of these roundy ones. I'm just going to slide him in there because why not? And then you're going to attach this towards the bottom of the banner so that the word you is flat and are the greatest is foam taped. So mine, I'm going to trim mine down just a little. Let me get my scissors here. I'm going to make this like that because the one I'm using is a little bit too long just because I'm changing it up. So I am not putting foam tape all the way. Have a look. And there's no foam tape under the word you. I'll maybe put some glue. Okay. And of course yours will look better because you have that empty space that you can bring in the word you. Okay, now the last thing I did, and I mentioned this in the instructions, is any gems you have. And it doesn't matter what gems you have. They can be like gold dots. They can be, these are the glitter gems. They can be normal gems. It doesn't matter. We had a whole bunch of honeybee gems the other day. And we're just going to sprinkle a couple of clusters of our gems on. And that can be done after our crafty hour. So that you can have a matchy. You can use purple ones. Purple ones would look great on mine. You can use teal. You can use pink. So many options that you can do. Okay, are we good with that one? There he goes. He's going to start. He's got earmuffs on. I don't have earmuffs on. Good gracious. All right, how are we doing? Does everybody got the first card? Oh, it's not too loud. First card done? Are we okay? I know it's a little bit hard when I don't have those die cuts, so we have to kind of work together. But you can see how easy these are. Not quite as layered as my usual, so perfect for mailing. That's a great one as a thank you card. Okay, I'm going to set this one off to the side. We're going to bring in our card number 2. We're going to do something kind of similar with our card number 2. So let me give you a little show of that one. You know what? I'm going to utilize that again. All right. Good morning, Lynn. So, a couple of things on this one that I told you to do. I got you to find your flowers. And then I said, if you want, it was optional that you cut a piece of white cardstock to 3 by 5 1/4. It is optional. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. I will be using it. And then I want you to find these 2 papers. First one is a purple, we're going to call it a leaf pattern. Purple leaf. Yours is 6 by 6, remember? Leaf pattern. I'm going to move this just off to the side while you're looking for your paper because I'm going to print off these. Okay. So first one is a leafy pattern, purple. And then the second one I want you to find in your pile, it'll be a full 6 by 6, is this purple splotch. Now remember, yours is 6 by 6. I cut them in half already. You're going to do that next. So just pretend. Purple splotch, one of my faves, and these purple leaves. I'm also going to get you to find, oh good gracious, he's loud. I apologize, guys. In your die cuts, I want you to find this scallop note card. It is a full size. We're going to cut it in half as well. So let's find those 3 items. We're going to take both these papers, and it doesn't matter what side you do this, we're going to cut it in half so that we have a bigger blob and a bigger blob on your second half. So cut both of these papers to 3 by 6. I have already done that, but I want you to. Okay, so 3, show you the opposite of the purple. They're both purple, but this opposite is kind of like a peachy color. We'll say it's peachy. And then this one is just the leaf pattern on both sides. This is a die cut. And yours is full, and it is white on the other side. Now, once you've got these cut, we are going to trim them down to 5 1/4. I'm going to trim them down, and it doesn't matter to me which side. If you want to take a little off both sides, you can, so that you have this kind of even. So let's try that. We're going to take them a little bit off that side and a little bit off that side. I wasn't exactly even, but closies count, right? Kind of like that. And then just set this one off to the side for a moment. Set it off to the side. We don't quite need it yet. It is now 5 1/4. I just took some random pieces off both sides. Didn't measure, just random. Okay, I'm going to set that off to the side. We'll come back to that. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to trim it also to 5 1/4 because these are 6 by 6 papers that we need to trim 5 1/4. So now I have that purple leafy one at 5 1/4. And we're going to cut this in half. Right now it's 3. We're going to make it 1 1/2. So we're going to have 2 French fries. One and a half. We have 2 French fries. Let's start with these 2. We're going to do exactly what we did with our first card. We're going to glue it at the top. We're going to glue it at the bottom. We're going to have an opening in the center. So let's go ahead and glue both of those in place. Remember, we want to allow a border on the sides, which will happen naturally, but we also want to leave that same size border on the top. Same size border on the top. On the bottom, same thing. So we have a little white border on the top and a little white border on the bottom. And I use the smaller pattern. Does it matter? No, you can use the bigger pattern if you wish. That's okay. Okay, we're going to set that aside. So that should be good. We are going to trim this one down. I think we could trim it. Let me just looky look. Yeah, we're going to take a little bit off it. Actually, you know what? I don't think we need to. Let's not, because it won't matter. We don't see the top. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take our purple. What does it matter what liquid glue you use? No, Diane, this is my preference, but there is a shortage of this right now, and it's not going to be available still for about a month because of a shortage. It comes from Australia. It is my favorite because it gives me wiggle time, but I also like the Barely Art glue. If you want to use your tape runner, that's fine. I just like the wiggle time. Okay, what we're going to do with this is we are going to glue this down onto that white cardstock I had you cut, the 3 by 5 1/4. I want a little border only on the bottom. A little border of white only on the bottom. No white on either side, no white on the top. This is going to give it some added support. And notice where my purple blob is, for lack of a better word. My purple blob is on the side with the white strip. Okay, so up at the top is the white, the purple is down on the bottom, and my white strip is down at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to glue that on. So I just applied some glue. Glue is also really quick. I definitely don't recommend double-sided tape when you're making cards because if you're anything like me, you're always crooked. And it just is, it's not necessary and it's time consuming. Okay. So a little white border only showing on the bottom by the purple blob. Gotta love my words. No white border on the sides. Don't worry about the top. We're not gonna see it. Off to the side. Now we're going to go back to this and remember that yours is full. Okay, it's a full one. You're going to cut it in half at about 1 7/8. Gosh, he's annoying. This is what yours will look like. I know, right? This is what yours will look like, only it'll be all purple. And you're going to cut it in between those dipsy doodle bumpy things. You're going to cut it in the valley. That's what you're going to do. It should be about 1 7/8. So cut it long ways. We want a long piece. Don't cut it short and fat. Cut it like a hot dog to just under 2. Just under 2. That is so annoying. Just under 2. So we have a long strip. And what we're going to do with this, we'd be cutting the corners Oh, yes, Cindy. We are waiting until we get enough orders. Because with our shipping costs, it is not good if I only have 5 that would need to be ordered. So you have to get in your order to me when I hit my minimum, then I will order them. Okay, next thing, we're going to glue this so that the scallop is showing on the bottom by the white line, by the purple dots, the purple splotch. So, I know it doesn't go. Oh my gosh, come on. Oh, I have to open. Oh, do you see what I did? I unscrewed the whole bottle. Good gracious. That would be a mess. There we go. I'm paying attention to the noisy man outside. Driving me crazy. Okay, center it like so. Okay, showing it with the scallop on the bottom, like so. Joyce, I don't know. Sorry, I'm in the middle of doing this one. I will have to talk to Courtney. I haven't even asked her yet. Okay, now what I'd like you guys to do is let's get some foam tape on there. And we're going to put foam tape across the back. I'm going to put a couple of big pieces, and I'm going to put a piece in the middle just because I don't want it to cave in. I want to add some extra support there. And we're going to attach this. It should go side to side, and I want to come fairly close to the bottom. Oopsie. Let me move that over just a bit. It should be the same. It should be the same size as my pattern paper. I'm coming fairly close to the bottom. This one I came a little bit closer, but that's okay. And it's attached with foam tape. Okay, now I'm going to start bringing in my die cuts. And again, you will have, let's see. These ones are the same size, the same shape, just different colors. So So I'm going to put one here, and I'm just laying these out right now. And I'm going to put one, I think, over here, kind of like that. And I am going to pop these up. So, foam tape under this one. And I know that they're going to hang off the edge, so you can see I'm not putting foam tape on my very edge. I'm going to bring this one. I think I'll bring it like that. Okay. So that is going on the left side. And then I'm going to bring this one. Again, they're the same colors, so if you want to use your aqua ones instead, like I used on this, that is okay. They're the same size, just a different color. They're exactly the same shape. They just gave you options, which confused ya. I'm going to put it like that. Slightly off with that flower poking over. So I'm just going to leave that there for a moment so you can see what I've done. And then we're going to bring in our greetings. And then if you want to add another flower after, you can. I'll show you where we can add it. Okay, so we've put the 2 clusters with foam tape, just like so. In your greetings, in your words, I want you to find the big circle that says best wishes. And then you should also have one that is love. Now, these are singles, so best wishes and love. I'm going to bring back in my party time because it'll work. But you can use best wishes, because I don't know if Courtney uses party time, but I have to because it's all I have left. So you're going to use best wishes and love. And we're going to put foam tape on the back of our circle, and I'm putting them on the 2 sides. So if I look at it like this, I'm putting them on the 2 sides, and there's a reason. I want them to actually attach to my flowers. So just put it on the 2 sides. And I'm going to have this facing up a little bit higher. It's not dead in the center of the card. It's a little bit higher so that it covers that top of my splotchy paper. So I'm coming up just a little bit. And like I mentioned before, you have so many extra flowers. If you wanted to grab one of these and throw it in there, you can. I actually would need to cut mine. So if you want to throw an extra flower in there like that, you can pick one of those extra blossoms. You have so many of them. I'll just throw one in. I didn't have you pull this. It was just optional if you wanted to. You could always throw another one in there. Just gives it some dimension. I glue it flat to the base. Okay, now the last thing you guys are going to do, and I don't have this word and I am not going to add one, but you have the word love. What I have left is hope, and I don't think we want to hope on a party time. I just don't think that will work. Let's hope that's a fun party. I don't know. What I did for this is I had to add extra foam tape under the E. I added single under the L. I added triple under my E so that it was flush. And I just attached that. It kind of finished off the bottom of my flowers and evens the card out, I think, just a little bit. So you will have that word in there. I did not have you pull any of the words because I did not have any left, so it would have been very confusing. So I will probably find another word later for mine. And then on your best wishes, I chose some purple gems, but you choose whatever gems you want. That can be done after Crafty Hour. And I will post my pictures, so don't worry. I put a couple of gems there and a couple of gems there just to kind of, what's the word? Kind of highlight that. Best wishes. Oh, I lost a green leaf. I wonder where he came from. Might find him somewhere. Okay, so how did your best wishes turn out? So far, so good? I love the little scallop. So pretty little add-on touch. And the idea with the painted blooms, of course, they gave you these instructions without pattern paper because Courtney and I added pattern paper. They just took that whole one and just put some flowers on there. But I found these were a little bit plain for our liking. But of course, you could use any of these as starter points or samples. They do give you some ideas. They just weren't my style, so that's the whole point. We take it, we challenge ourselves, and we dress it up. And I really like how these turned out. Okay, let's move on to card number 3. Now, Courtney had you pull this one for hers, and then she forgot because she had actually used a different one. So, if you have not pulled it, or if you pulled it for Courtney's, just grab that Hello, My Friend. I'll give you a moment to pull that. Like I said, we got a little confused because we didn't have extra of those words. So you're going to need your card number 3 die cuts. I had you pull all the yellows and some of the green leaves. And I also had you, we might need some more green leaves, come to think of it. I might pull another one just for fun. And I also had you do a piece of white cardstock because we're going to do a very similar idea again. So if you want to grab another green leaf, I just found one. You don't have to, but if you want to. And then I'm going to show you the papers I need you to pull. I have my card. That noise is really aggravating me. Okay, here's the papers I need you to find in your paper pile. Now, please remember, yours are 6 by 6. I'm going to move these off so I can start. So yours are 6 by 6. Mine are cut in half because I did not get a full pack. So I need you to find your pinky dots, bigger dots on the flip side. I'm going to use the small dots, but you can use the big ones. So look for those. You're going to need your green vines. A small pattern on one side, large pattern on the other. Again, yours is 6 by 6. And we're going to add one more paper into this pile, and that is the pink splotch. Backside is this purple. So it is a brighter pink. We're going to be using the pink side. Other side is the purpley blue splotch. So 3 pattern papers. Pink splotch, green vines, and pink dots. How come somebody's got a sad face? What can I do to make you a happy face? Let me know. Sad face tells me something's wrong. Something's wrong. I need to know what's wrong. Okay, we're going to cut all of these in half. Okay, so first one, doesn't matter which way you cut it at all. Pink dot, doesn't matter which way you cut it. Just cut it in half. Yes, Sandy, she is, but you are going to cut this in half. You're going to give half to her. I'm going to take half. Courtney and I cut all of these papers ahead of time. We just didn't tell you because it would have been too much work. Okay, so find this paper and cut it in half. Keep 1 3-inch piece for me. Give Courtney 1 3-inch piece. We didn't, I didn't have you cut these papers in half. I didn't tell you what papers to find, actually. So, Now I want you to find your green vine. And very important, when we cut this one in half, I want you to cut through every vine. So I want your vines to be going horizontal. I want them to be going sideways so that when you cut it, you cut through each vine. Okay, so a 3-inch piece for me. Cut through each vine. Gonna put that one aside. And the next one I'm going to get you to cut is the splotch. And cut it so that you get the biggest splotch on both sides. So we're not going to cut it so that you get a skinny splotch. We're going to cut it in 3. Don't overthink it, whichever way works for you. Okay? I did not tell you to pull these papers. I'm just telling you to do them now. So recap. We have the green going sideways. Green vine going sideways, 3 inches. We have the pink dot, 3 inches. We have the pink splotch, 3 inches. No worries. Now, I'm going to put the splotch away for a second. We're going to come to these 2. And we're going to make both of these 5 1/4. Because that's the size we need for our card. So the pink dot, 5 1/4. The green vine, 5 1/4. Both of them. Okay, now we're going to use the green on top and the pink on the bottom. You can see that we don't need to have it quite so big. We're going to save a little bit of paper because really we don't need it this big. So I'm going to take the green. Where did my marker go? And I'm going to cut it long ways to 2 inches. I can use that strip somewhere else. So right now it's 3. Take it to 2. Put that aside. You never know where you're going to need that. And let's do the same thing with the pink dot. Take it to 2. And put that aside. These are going to be great for using later. So we now, long way to get there, but we are at 2 by 5 1/4. And we're going to put the green on top. We're going to put the pink on the bottom. They may overlap, they may touch, it won't matter. We're going to cover up the middle in a minute. Oh, it's nice and quiet. Yeah, we didn't think this all the way through when we went, oh, guess what? There's only one. This is going to be a little tricky. The good news is you guys are used to us going with the flow. Now, I am going to use the small pattern. You can use whatever pattern makes you happy. I am happy with the small pattern. So do whichever works. And if you have a little bit of a space in the middle, don't stress because I'm going to cover it. Don't stress. Wait till you see the next Crafty Hour. I'm going to announce it tomorrow morning at 9. Oh, good gracious. We are excited about this one. I'll give you a little bit of some tips when we're done, but you're not going to want to miss out on this one. If you do, you're going to be sad. You're going to be crying. Okay, hopefully you guys are both at that stage. I'm going to go to my splotch. Okay, I'm going to go to my splotch, and I am going to cut my splotch 2 1/4 inches wide. Now, I don't want to lose any splotch because I like that splotch. So remember, we already cut it to 3. I am now going to take it to 2 1/4, and I'm cutting off the part that is the widest. Okay, so I'll lose a little bit of that splotch, but not a lot. I'm kind of centering that splotch. So 2 1/4. 2 1/4. And of course, we need to make it the same size as our card. I am going to choose to take, again, a little off each side. This is 6 inches. It needs to be 5 1/4. If you cut a piece of white, you can see what we're going to do. So I'm going to take a little bit. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to take it all off of this side. Yeah, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to take it all off of this side. Because when I look at how I'm going to get it on my card, it's okay if it's a little bit further over. So I'm going to take it all off one side. 5 1/4. My splotch is a little off center, and that's perfect. So the splotchy piece is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. We're going to glue it on, so I have a white border on top and a white border on bottom. No borders on the sides. Go ahead and glue. Two 1/4 by 5 1/4. Glue it onto the white, even top to bottom. You're going to get a fairly larger white border on the top and bottom, which is totally fine. And then we're going to foam tape this over our seam. Now, I am not doing it right in the middle. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer to the bottom. You can put it in the middle, but I'm going to bring it a little bit closer to the bottom. Maybe like around there, okay? So I'm not measuring. I have most of my splotch sitting closer to the right side, and I'm going to foam tape this. Of course, if you want to glue it flat, you can, but I need to foam tape. Okay, so foam tape on the back, a little bit closer, right about there. Perfect. Now, you are going to use Hello, My Friend. That is the one I want you to find. And yes, we know Courtney showed you to pull it just because we got a little bit confused. You are actually going to use Best Friends for Courtney. So I'm going to use Best Friends on mine. Please use Hello, My Friend, because that's like that song, Hello, Darkness, My Dear Friend. Yeah, I want you to use Hello, My Friend. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to double foam tape, mostly in the middle. Mostly in the middle, double foam tape. We're going to stick things underneath, so I don't want it too close to the edge. Double foam tape, 2 times high. 2 times high. You're using Hello, My Friend. We're going to put it right about there. It's going to hang over the edge a little bit. It is about almost an inch in, almost, about half an inch up. You are using Hello, My Friend. Okay, let's start our die cuts. I'm going to use this one first. No, I'm not. I am going to actually use this one first. And I'm going to take a little bit of foam tape to put under the top-ish, more like, I guess, the middle. A little bit of glue. Oh, my glue, I forgot to put my pin back in. Okay, so that is this one. Kind of a larger viney. And it's going to go kind of like that. Okay, it's tucking under Hello, My Friend. The foam tape is here. I just used glue here. Okay, then this one that I just had you find, we're going to do this one flat kind of like that, just to extend it. Now, if you're bumping into something, just tear it off. Okay, don't worry about it. Just tear some of it off. And this one's gluing flat because it's going to glue to the bottom paper. And it's just going to add a little bit more greenery up there. Just kind of framing that hello friend. I actually had mine a little bit over more. Okay, now find another green leaf, and we're going to glue that one down on the bottom like so. And we're going to glue this one flat. So I'm using this green leaf. A little bit of glue, you don't need a lot. And always important to make sure it doesn't come off the bottom of your card, or your card won't sit well. If it does come off the bottom, just snip it. And those are glued flat. Now we're going to take our yellow, and I'm going to start with the two that are more like yellow leaves. I'm going to put a piece of foam tape behind the larger one, just behind the leaf part, not the stem. And I'm going to have this one go kind of facing down like that. Okay, the other yellow, oops, I need more foam tape. Ooh, am I going to get the last card done? A little yellow foam tape, and that one's going to go like that. I might move it over so I can see that leaf a little better, like that. And that whole ugly mess is going to get covered. I'm going to take a piece of foam tape, I'm going to fold it in half, just like so. I'm going to put it in that space that's there. And I'm going to take my flowers and I'm going to slide them under. And it's just going to cover all of that mess, for lack of a better term. And yours should look like that with Hello Friend. That yellow really pops nice with the green and the pink. Purple, not so much. Now for this one, I went into my stash of colors and I found these crystal ones. Any of your crystal ones, your spellbinders, your honeybee, any that are kind of that iridescent, the borealis, the aurora borealis, you know I can't say that word. I did 3 here, but I also brought in 1 in each corner just to pop it. Optional. You guys, I know, stockpile all of those gems. So, of course, you can bring in whichever gems you want just to add a little touch. Okay? We got time for one more? What do you think? One more card? Of course, I'll post all these pictures after in our Crafty Hour. You're going to want to go to the Crafty Hour Creations. That is our private Facebook group. We've had a few people try and join that Crafty Hour Creations group, but you guys are not answering the questions. Who is your home store? That should be either Courtney or myself, and if you abide by the rules. So if you don't answer those, I'll just let you know. We don't even get a chance to deny you. It just denies you. So you have to make sure you answer those questions. That is where we post the pictures when we're done. That's also where we get you guys to post your inspiration. Okay, card number 4. Let's do card number 4. We got some fun ones on this one. And it's a quick one. We have our card. Grab one of your card bases. The kit came with card bases. And I want you to grab one of your splotches. And we're going to, oh, and I need my scraps. Gosh, I'm so silly with my scraps. I gotta find where I put my scraps. I want you to find this teal one, and it is a diagonal splotch. It's a diagonal. I wonder where I put all my scraps. Gosh darn. If you saw my workspace, you'd know. Who knows where my... Well, I'll use that. There's a little one there. Okay. We're going to first cut your splotch in half. Now, mine was a diagonal that went this way. I cut it at 3 inches, just like you've been doing. 3 inches. Cut that splotch in half. The back side is a green splotch. Cut that in half. I'll give you a moment to do that. I'm going to trim that one down. Yep, I sure am. And I got a little crazy with this one. So here's what we're going to do. We have this piece. It is a diagonal swatch. I want to be able to see most of that splotch, right? So we're going to maneuver the paper over. Don't worry that we're not going to have white here because we won't see it. So first step, take that 3 inches, make it 2 inches. Cutting off white because we don't need that white, right? Don't need it. So 2 inches so that we have most of that beautiful splotch. And of course you can make your own splotch paper too. Now I'm going to take a little bit of white off by the splotch. So I'm just getting that splotch over a bit. So when I put it on my card, I'm going to see a lot of splotch. Now, if your card over here, if it now doesn't go to the edge, don't worry. If I showed you mine, see where my card ends? It ends like 3/4 of an inch away. Don't worry. Won't matter. Okay, and let's glue it on so that paint splotch is in the top left. Gosh, I feel like I'm in a battle with that guy out there. Don't worry if it's only 4 inches. Doesn't matter. That's what we have. Now, in your kits, you have a full piece of your teal scallop rectangle. Teal scallop. And we're going to do the same thing we did with our purple one. We're going to cut it in half long ways. So that should measure just under 2. Cutting right in between those those mountains right in the valley. So that you have a full bumpy bump. And go ahead and cut it into 2 long strips, just like that. Put one aside. You're only allowed to use one. And we're going to attach this like so. And yes, I know there's a gap. It's okay. Okay. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trim my card. I think I want to trim my card down. I'm going to trim it down to 5 1/4. This is optional, but I think I want to trim my card down. I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off the right-hand side. Just like that. I cut through the paper. I cut through. Yeah, I might take a little bit more off. I don't want quite such a big border. I'm in charge and I'm not worried about the top right hand. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? I think that looks better. So I just trimmed it. Options. Don't worry about this because nobody's going to see this. We're going to cover this up really good. I have a gap in the middle. All good. Nobody's going to see that either. You don't know how much you can cover up and make it look good. Haven't lost anybody yet, I hope. We just go with it in Crafty Hour. Yep, I like that. That's what I like. Now, we're going to go through our scraps. We're going to look for some scraps from our card. Remember, we cut off a little piece because it was 6 inches and we cut off a little piece. Find that scrap. Mine was on the floor, so yours might even be in the garbage. But I'm going to use this little scrap. And I am going to put some foam tape behind it. I'm not trimming it. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to put some foam tape behind that scrap. And I'm going to put it right there. Straight. Right there. So now it looks totally fine. On this one, I had a scrap from a different part of the paper where it was a little darker. So yours might be a little darker, might be a little lighter. Perfect either way. Okay, I want you to find the one that says enjoy the little things. It is teal, tall. I'm going to use the purple one because that's my only option. You're going to use the teal one. Enjoy the little things. Go ahead and find that. It's a big one. It's a big die cut. Turn it over. And I want you to find this die cut. I already had you pull this die cut. You have it already. And we're going to cut it in half like that. Okay, so I'll leave that there so you can see how I die cut it, or how I cut it with my scissors. Okay, everybody okay with that? And you have the enjoy the little things. So I've cut that big flower in half lengthwise, and I have enjoy the little things. I'm going to take my big die cut. I'm going to put a piece of foam tape on each side. Like so. And I'm going to flip it and I'm going to attach one to that side. And I'm going to flip it and I'm going to attach one to that side. Kind of like that. Maybe I'll move this one in just a smidge. Now, if this is bothering you down here, I am going to be adding a die cut, but we can also just do this and snip it away if you want. All good? And back to the foam tape, and in the middle, we're going to do double high. And I'm going to do a few pieces. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here, just in the middle, and I'm not worried about the wings, the sides yet. I can go back in and deal with those in a minute, but I want to put double foam tape in the middle. And we're going to attach this to the right-hand side, kind of like that. Now, I know we're still going to have a little gap here. We're going to add some more of those viney things. I don't even know what they are. We're going to put this in the center, so don't worry. This one, I've got, it kind of hangs over the top. No, I guess it hangs over about the same. Yours will be looking like this. Now I'm going to take that little viney thing. I don't know what it is. I'm going to rip off the stem. Put some glue down towards the bottom. And I'm going to slide it in to cover my corner in case my paper doesn't go quite that high. And I told you to pull one more. I'm going to slide him under and cover that corner like that. Okay, and I'm just gluing him flat. A little bit of glue and sliding this one. Again, make sure it's okay to come off the sides. It is not okay to come off the bottoms. Last thing for this card is you're going to find the word "Let's Celebrate," and I trimmed it down. I took a little off the top and bottom. I think I even took a little bit off the ends just to shorten it a bit. I don't have another one to show you, but just trim and trim. And then I foam taped it across the bottom, and I added extra foam tape under the words "Let's." So play around with your card, make sure that it is flush. I foam taped it, and then I added extra foam tape under the words "Let's." Now, I didn't put rhinestones on here, but you could. You can go back and use like this aqua, the Glitter Drops Aqua looks spectacular with it. So you can add some gems on this card if you wish. I just didn't. But you can. So any questions about that one? I will post the picture so that you can see where I put my gems. Is it the right place? Not necessarily. It's a place. So 4 cards, 1 hour. We pushed it a little bit on that. We had a lot of paper cutting to do on those cards. Love the color palette. I think it's a beautiful color palette. I love the watercolor look. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a secret about tomorrow, and I'm sure Courtney will give you another secret later. Remember that her crafty hour is 5 p.m. Pacific. It is on her page, which is Scrapbook of Memories. You guys should have all that one favorited as well. And tomorrow, we're going to go live at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central Time. And we are going to announce a new crafty hour. It will be available on both of our websites, so you can go there to register. But I want to tell you, you have to hop on this one quickly because it is a discontinued item. It is going to be very hot, very popular. And as I mentioned, it is not going to be florals. No pretty pinks, no pretty blues. No, we are going to go a little au naturel. So you definitely want to make sure that you hop on because it's going to be an adventure. And it's going to be a jam-packed kit. So please support either Scrapbook and Memories or Clipper Street. Oh, I'm glad, Susan, because it's driving me to drink this noise. And he's loading up more gas in his thing, and I'm ready to whop him one. But anyway, I guess we need to get that work done, but I swear he's doing the entire parking lot. So don't miss out tomorrow. I'm going to tell you right now. Now, we are encouraging you to go to our website because we load it up on our website so that we can count down, right? So if we have 100 kits and the website will be loaded up, that is going to be the safest way. We don't open till 10. Okay, we don't open till 10, but I'm going to show you a sneak peek at 9. So that's why you have to go to our website. Very important. So we're really excited about tomorrow's crafty hour. Remember that you can create crafty hours anytime you want. You don't have to do them live. So if you go, oh no, I'm on vacation, well, that's okay. Just do it at a different time. And don't forget to join our Crafty Hour Creations Facebook group so that we can see your creations. After Courtney's done, you're going to have lots left over to create even more. And I will make sure to post these cards over there as soon as I can. Thanks for joining me this morning for an hour, and we'll see you back on Courtney's Scrapbook and Memories page at 5 p.m. Pacific. Thank you.